Hello guys, I'm Oksana. Welcome to my video lesson. Today we are going to talk about such phenomenon in the English language as participle. I know some of you consider participle a rather complicated thing. That's why I'm here with you to prove that it's just simple in the case of formation as well as its usage. You guys also have to be aware of the fact that you could have used participle thousands of times before and felt quite confident in reading and listening to such grammar structures, not knowing that you'd been using it. So, what is the problem with it? Does it really exist? The clue here is not in the formation or usage of the participles, I guess, but it's more related to the rules. So, I'm here to explain you the following structure without mentioning any rules, the way they are usually written in grammar books. By the way, one more thing. I'm going to try to show you how you can simplify the sentence and make it more melodic while using participle. I'm more than 100% sure you will love it. So, let's start. As I have promised you not to use a bunch of confusing grammatical terms in the beginning, I will definitely keep my word. The only thing we have to consider here is 3 perspectives from which we are going to work out the idea of how the participle is basically formed. But I would like to confirm that they are not so important here because the main goal is to understand the participle logically and consequently use it on a regular basis. As you can see here, participle could exist in present, past, and perfect aspect. But it's mostly all about formation. I would say you don't have to focus on the tense usage while participle is in action. That's good news, right? Especially for those who are not really grammar fans. Here we go. What is present participle? So, present participle is just a verb plus ing. Then, I'm pretty sure you are using it regularly. As for instance, let's try to bring some examples here, like dance, dancing, work, working, wash, washing. Also, watch here, in order not to misinterpret participle with a gerund. So, the last one, there is gerund, behaves as a noun. That is, dancing is an art, for instance. So, we can put a question, what here, right? Apparently, it's a gerund. What is the role of the participle? Take a look at those examples one more time. Dancing, working, washing. I would use them with the nouns because that is their function, to describe or to characterize the noun which they are used with. Okay? Let's say, dancing princess, which means the princess who dances or danced. Let's go to the other example. Working people. So, in the other words, we would say people that work or worked. Washing machine. Sounds familiar, right? So, we can say machine that washes clothes. Now, I want you to take a look at those examples one more time and ask yourselves, if you didn't use participle in English, would the language be easier or simpler? Of course not. Let's compare. Dancing princess. Then, the princess who dances. Imagine only if you have to use the expression the machine that washes clothes every single time while doing laundry. Then compare washing machine. Let's prove the other examples such as running water, which means the water that runs. Existing business is about a business that exists. Sounds accurate, I guess, doesn't it? So, let's sum up. we use present participle, that is, verb with ing ending, to describe the action of the object with which it is used. Hope you are with me, yes? Okay, then one more thing. You see, we can judge from the previous expressions that the function of the participle is to simplify the phrase as well as the sentence. As an evidence, I will show you here more tricks. So, let's say we have a compound sentence such as, my daughter was doing her homework and she was watching TV at the same time. It is funny, yes? Imagine how many mistakes she has made. Look at the sentence one more time. We have here one subject, which is expressed by a noun, daughter, and in the second part, by a pronoun, she. This is all about one person. Okay, let's use the same way which I have demonstrated you before. So, how we will transform the clause, the daughter who was doing homework, I would say here, doing her homework, my daughter was watching TV. Do you feel the difference? Compare those two examples. Of course, the transformed sentence is much easier to understand and it's more simplified in its content. Okay, just to make it clear, we used here present participle to express the action which was taking place simultaneously with the other action. Let's review another example. Yesterday, I felt so bad, so I went to see a doctor. So, I guess it's obvious. What we will do here? We can simply say, feeling too bad, I went to see a doctor. Okay? Let's do the comparison again. Let's read those two sentences one more time to feel the conception of the participle. Yesterday, I felt too bad, so I went to see a doctor. And feeling too bad, I went to see a doctor. Have you got it? So easy and so simple. Do you agree? Now we will move to the following aspect. Past participle. So, you will be more than surprised when I prove some examples here. So, a broken window, a torn jacket, a finished project. So what is it? Yes, nothing else, but as we used to say before, it is a verb in its third form or with ed ending when it's regular. Are you surprised? You are using past participle constantly. To explain why do we need participle is to describe or let's say to show the final state or a position or a result of an object that is of a noun with which it is used. I would add here, it performs the function of an adjective. Now, as I have promised you, that participles simplify the sentences, accordingly, our speech as well as writing. I will say especially writing. Then, I'm going to show you some more examples of how the sentences could be transformed and how the final result will be nice and simple. So, let's say, they took the boy to the hospital and he recovered. We have here two simple sentences in one compound one. I know some English grammar teachers will criticize me for not using proper terminology, but my goal is to make my students understand participle. Let's return to our sentences. They took the boy to the hospital and he recovered. So, take a look here. Took the boy to the hospital. Let's use third form. Took, taken. Then we will have the boy taken to the hospital, recovered. Wow, I'm pretty sure you also have a wow effect, right? Let's take another example. As some parents spoil their kids, so later they become arrogant. Now, are you ready? I am. Okay, then the message here is about the kids. So the final sentence will sound, spoiled kids become arrogant in future, for example. Or just don't blame me over omitting some information here. So it's up to you. You can simply say, spoiled by their parents, kids become arrogant later on. And as you have noticed already, participles do not show any tense forms. This means you can use participle not thinking of the tense in which the sentence is formed. Isn't it wonderfully? So we are almost done. Let's move forward to perfect participle. I know you are going to complain about the tense makers, but try to get the idea of the point. So, as we remember, perfect means completed, finished, done. And as a rule, it is mostly used to claim the result of the action. Right. So now let's think how it could be look like. Okay, now switch on your logic. We have been using the third form for past participle. Consequently, it will be used either. But because of the fact that we are going to talk about perfect actions, we will use the helping verb having plus the third form or ed. So let's practice. Having done, having said, having graduated. Wow, sounds powerfully. What do you think? Look how easy it is, but while using participle, you sound more advanced, more native, more fluid in English. Especially, it is an invaluable thing to improve your writing skills for those who are getting ready to take an exam. That's why I will show you some, I would say, miracles the participle will do for you while writing an essay. Okay, let's imagine the situation. I had stuck in a traffic jam, so I missed my flight. Oh, I do not wish anyone to be involved in the case. So unpleasant and disappointing, right? Okay, let's analyze. What should be done here? Let's say to trim the sentence. No, the young generation usually will say to tune, right? So we are doing a tune here. Let's move back to the sentence. I had stuck in a traffic jam, so I missed my flight. Okay? Remember, having plus the third form. So, having stuck in a traffic jam, I missed my flight. Isn't it fantastic? Fabulous. Just here. How does it sound? Okay? Having stuck in a traffic jam, I missed my flight. Okay? Let's sum up. Perfect participle is used to express a previous action related to the object in the sentence. So, let's get another example. Let's make up something romantic, okay? As only he had seen her shining smile, he fell in love with her at the moment. I used here two simultaneous actions, okay? But the focus is on the sentence, not on a boring grammar. So, we can simply pronouns. Having seen her shining smile, he fell in love with her at the moment. Isn't it sophisticated? Just one more time. Having seen her shining smile, he fell in love with her at the moment. I'm impressed of what participle could do to our sentences. Okay, one more thing. As I have mentioned previously, that participle doesn't really indicate the time of the action. So you can also say the sentence in the following way. Seeing her shining smile, he fell in love with her at the moment. You see, the meaning of the sentence is not changing to a high degree, but the impression is the same. So you can use either the first or the second variant. Okay, are you tired? A few more minutes and I'm done with my explanation. I will try to be as short as possible. So you will ask me, what about passive? I guess you are probably disturbed how to memorize all the forms and voices over and over again. Don't be upset. I will open a mystery for you. You've been using some of its structures without awareness that it is passive participle. As for instance, I was mentioning such examples as a broken window, a finished project, a torn jacket. So, let's move back. Aren't these phrases passive? Does the window perform any action? The same we can say about a project or a jacket. So, as you can see, we are using the third form or ed in reference either to active or passive participle. Okay, but what about present passive? So, in case you want to emphasize the simultaneous effect of two actions, one of which is expressed by means of participle, you can say, being broken, I decided to leave the party. Take a look at the structure, being broken. As you can see here, this is a passive participle, and when I want to detail each emotion I felt, I could say, I was so broken that I decided to leave the party. But isn't the second variant, being broken, I decided to leave the party, more melodic and light? Okay? But here is the other question. You will ask me, where have you got that being broken? So, you don't worry, guys. You can simply say, let me think a little. Broken enough, I decided to leave the party. Or, broken and frustrated, I decided to leave the party. So, you can see what kind of miracles participle could do to your sentences. I'm playing with the words. Moreover, as we can conclude from those examples that the form of the participle doesn't really affect its content, right? One more example. Being warned of the danger, they changed their mind to return. Feel it? So, used here present passive participle, that is, being warned. But you can simply say, warned of the danger, they changed their mind to return. So, the conception is the same. The time indicators are not the ones here that are in charge to decide which of the participle forms is needed. All is about your feeling of language and the emotions you want to express. And the last thing for today, that is, when you want to indicate the priority of the action with the participle, you should use having been plus third form already. For example, having been unemployed for over 2 years, I found it difficult to get work. So, from this perspective, we can justify the consequences of the unemployment, right? Having been unemployed for over 2 years, I found it difficult to get work. You can see here, having been unemployed. So, let's practice. Having been asked, having been finished, and so on. But here is good news for those who are not grammar fans. So you can just say, as a result of being unemployed for over 2 years, I found it difficult to get work. Just a little bit different, but the main idea is expressed. So guys, I have been trying to convince you to adjust to using participle in your speech and writing. Hopefully, it will enrich your vocabulary and improve your language skills. Just let me know in the comment section below whether you have understood the lesson. Please subscribe to my channel to watch a new video. Bye bye!